I was watching a video earlier today, and somebody was talking about whether comic book movies are done and whether it's now the age of video game movies.
That's terrifying.
Do you think that that's true?
I don't know if I'm just getting old or not because
You are.
Shut up.
Go on.
I don't know. Like the whole comic book movie superhero. I feel like it had a time and place in my life. Even the video game movie, like I'm still like, yeah, I'll go watch it, but it doesn't hit the same.
No, but I'm saying, like, do you think that we're in an era now? Like they were talking about, like, look, Disney is all in on superheroes and Star Wars, right? That's whether it's Marvel, whether it's Lucasfilm, but now we've got Super Mario Brothers like crushing at the box office, and we've got nobody liked the Halo series, but people have liked the Last of Us adaptation. Yep. There was the Uncharted movie didn't do great but made money. Sonic did fantastic at the box office, and people are very fond of those. Are we kind of entering an era now where superheroes aren't going to matter? Mary will always point out on the show, says like kids don't care about superheroes. Like the younger generation doesn't really care about superheroes. They might care about Spider-Man. Spider-Man is like a universally popular character,
like evergreen,
and Batman in a lot of ways. But in a lot of like, it's probably going to be movies based on video games that are going to end up becoming the next big wave. There will have to be a video game version of, like one of these companies will have to have their own
Call of Duty.
Like a world based
Metal
on
Gear.
just. That's the one that I think really should be adapted more than anything.
But this is dangerous because like I like the idea, but I know they're going to screw it up.
Yeah.
But you don't know. Like now, like 5 years ago, I would say, yes, you know that they're going to screw it up. There is an argument to be made that, like, look, you can make Sonic and you can make Mario because they're not serious and they're animated.
Yeah.
And that the Last of Us TV show was fine. Like, you liked it. I thought it, right? You liked it?
I did not care for the script.
Yeah.
But as far as the execution, as far as the aesthetics, like, that was a solid Last of Us adaptation.
Yeah. Like, for me, they're like, they were talking about what should be adapted next. I said, like, that depends. Like, if you're doing live action, that's harder.
So, okay, what you just said about, like, the Mario and the Sonic, it's like there's not really a story. It's very loose. You can kind of go anywhere with it. But when you've got things like Resident Evil, you've got things like The Last of Us, and you start straying and you're not...
BioShock would be really good.
You know what I want to... No, you know what I want to see? Duke Nukem.
That base.
Just make a super based Duke Nukem movie with lots of violence. And
can Andrew Tate be Duke Nukem?
Oh my, dude!
This guy just broke the Matrix.
Dude, Andrew Tate Duke Nukem would be incredible.
Brokey!
Hail to the king, Brokey.
Oh my god.
That's what you could do. I'm so down to do that.
So
but Metal Gear would be cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So obviously, as we've learned, the industry has zero. They give zero Fs about making anything tasteful and relevant to the source material. So I wouldn't be surprised if they missed the entirety of the success of the Mario movie completely. Yeah. And they don't understand this is like the most iconic video game franchise in history. And it was well adapted and done by, the people that have been working on the brand for years. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if people were like, oh, this means video games are popular and they just buy any license for 50 cents and ruin all our childhoods. And so I really wish that the people that do these movies, I think there's something incredible about Batman. Because I don't know how and why, but Batman is the only thing that I feel that has been... It's have some stinkers, like Ben Affleck. But
we are not getting into this today. Shots fired.
Really?
Yeah, but it has had some...
He's wrong, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. I'm never wrong. It has had some good ones. And I really wonder... it's been nominated for Oscar. Not that that means anything anymore. Yeah. But it's been nominated for Oscars. And it's a guy in a bat suit. You know what I mean? And...
Well, I mean, it was Heath Ledger's Joker won Best Supporting Actor.
It managed to achieve level of high art consideration.
Yeah. Well, that's because Nolan was making it, and it was basically a crime drama based off of The Long Halloween.
So what does it take? So what does it? I wish that people that would do video games movies would sit down with Christopher Nolan and be like, how did you do it?
Yeah. Well, it's just like, also you have to pick a director based on the tone of what you want to make. If you're making a video game movie, you could get a Christopher Nolan to do a Metal Gear Solid movie. That would be kind of cool. Like, I mean, they've always said like that he wants to do James Bond. And it's insane to me that he's not being given that opportunity to do James Bond, right? Like a lot of people were talking about, like when he made Tenet, you could tell that he wanted to, the sci-fi part of it is just kind of like, the sci-fi stuff in that movie doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but the spy stuff in that movie is great. So it would be cool to get a Christopher Nolan to do, or you know what? You could get a Tarantino to do a Duke Nukem movie.
I think more important than the Christopher Nolan was the fact that, what's his name? The actor?
In what?
Batman.
In Christian Bale?
I think the fact that Christian Bale was Batman is more important.
Okay.
Because when I think of the most epic video game I've ever played, it's Final Fantasy VI.
Okay.
And it is because the villain is just clinically insane. And if you get a C-rate actor to play an insane, you're gonna get some hokey BS that no one likes. That's cartoonish. Yeah. But if you get like one of these method actors like Christian Bale, like they're gonna do it. And in my head canon, Christian Bale is Kefka, and it's perfect. Yeah. But they're not. They're gonna do the Netflix adaptation. Will Smith is now Kefka.
That would be. He's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah. He's gonna be like, yo, it's time to do crime.
Henry Cavill as Duke Nukem. He's big enough.
But he's too nice.
He's not blonde enough, and he's too kind of a person to do that.
Well, Andrew Tate's not blonde either.
But we'll give him a wig.
Yeah.
We'll give Andrew Tate a wig.
Yeah.
And also, then we'd have to give him he'd have to get an American accent. He'd have to get rid of that weird.
What accent?
Like his is like American Euro something or other. I don't know.
Okay.
So I think that what they need to do is they need to first lean into adapting to ones that have less structure. Mm-hmm. You could do a Crash Bandicoot movie. You could do a Donkey Kong movie on all of those, not the ones that have deep story or lore in them, because that's the stuff, just like comic books, they can't seem to step away from editing and changing. Just like now we have to listen to them talk about how they're going to faithfully adapt Harry Potter because of...
Knock it off.
As if faithful adaptation isn't the whole point. You should always be focusing on faithful adaptation anyways.
Yeah, it's going to be a disaster.
So do you think that we'll eventually get a point where then the number of video game movies will outweigh or will outdo the number of superhero movies?
Yeah, I mean, they'll grind anything to death. Like, they'll ruin everything.
Yeah, that's the natural flow of things. As soon as they latch onto something, they just run it into the ground.
Yeah, they don't have the ability to show restraint or anything like that. What would you like to see adapted that was a more serious one and one that's less, like I said, Donkey Kong, like a less serious one, like a Donkey Kong or a Crash Bandicoot, and what would you like to see adapted that's more serious?
The more serious one, like, dude, they've made Resident Evil. Please make a creepy Resident Evil. Yeah, that's all I want. Creepy Resident Evil. As far as a goofy one, like a fun game, well, I mean, I can't really make it fun. I was gonna say like Elden Ring, but it's not really
Star Fox.
Goofy. Yeah, probably Star Fox.
That'd be great because you can animate it and you don't have any humans involved.
Star Fox would be cool.
Like Star Fox would be cool. I don't know. I was going like the Dark Souls because it's like they've got goofy elements within the game. Like I made my character look like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Okay. But it's like the lore, the story of the game is like, no, it's very dark.
Yeah. I would like to see a Turok movie from Nintendo 64, Turok and Turok 2, Turok Dinosaur Hunter, which, like you could take it in the direction of being more serious and literally have to do something like that. I think that would be fun. Yeah. Dane, what would you like to see? Serious and not serious?
Not serious. I really can't think of anything.
It's so easy, though. Like, I feel like they would be at least decent at it.
Anthony Starr is somebody said who is the actor who plays Homelander. That's Anthony Starr.
I think The Legend of Zelda.
Okay. I mean, but that would be hard, right? That would take or what about Mega Man? That'd be hard.
I never got into it.
Damn, that
I think if they did like a Game of Thrones treatment to Final Fantasy VI where it's like multiple seasons.
Yeah.
Like S-tier actors, S-tier budget, it would be bigger than all fiction that we've had so far.
You know what? I would be into a Mega Man. I'd let him try it.
Theoden, King of Brohan, says maybe a GoldenEye movie from the N64, eh, Brett? Maybe they can cast Pierce Brosnan. Yes, that would be fantastic. There's actually I posted not that long ago this great thing about how like they got in trouble when they were making GoldenEye because they have hot women in bikinis crush a hammer and sickle. And people communists got very mad about them. They weren't just mad about crushing the hammer and sickle. They were mad about hot women in bikinis crushing a hammer and sickle because they felt that it wasn't serious enough in tone, and it did the Communist Party a disrespect. To which I say, good.
How dare we?
Yeah,
good. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's going to be a point now where we're like superhero stuff is just going to be less profitable. And you're going to end up seeing it mostly on television.
I mean, we're
there. In the movies. I mean, it's already
Blue
there.
Beetle. Who cares?
Hey, I've been rewatching the 2004 Batman series, and there's Blue Beetle in that. And it's actually good, but that's animated, and it's like it takes place in outer space. That makes sense, right? You have you don't have all the money in the world to do that live action, so it's harder to do. And that's the real crux of it, is all the best superhero stories that have been told off the comic book page have been told in animated form.
Well, you got a lot more room to work with.
Yes,
there's
cheaper.
a lot more forgiving.
Yeah, and it just, you take for granted how much stuff happens in outer space. I was just watching a thing where they were dissecting like how they took all of these stories that these Jack Kirby stories for like the Eternals, where it's all in outer space and crazy, and they make it into something that's just drab. Like the movie's just drab and boring and basically takes place on Earth, and it's pointless because it doesn't capture any of the wonder or the magic from making stuff that takes place in outer space. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.